love this car now.
Oh, even more now. The value just went up 10 grand. My day has been made. You might be thinking this is just another YouTuber resurrecting a car after finding it sitting for 22 years. And you may be right. But please don't think for 1 second that this car is any less special. This is our 1969 Dodge Charger RT SE yard find. The story we were given was a kid pursuing his career in the military drove this to and from school. One day he left for the military and did not return. For 22 years, this car sat under trees receiving a new tarp every time the previous one had ripped. Although the intentions of his mother to preserve this car were good, this nurtured quite a bit of rust over that 22-year span. In late 2022, a friend of ours found this car and thought we would be an ideal home for it. James and I didn't even think twice about this one. Both of us, of course, are gearheads, but had a shared desire to own a 1969 Charger one day.
You're not supposed to ever look at a car in the rain.
Or in the dark.
Or in the dark.
I'll take the rain over the dark, though.
What do you think?
It's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and call myself out here because I was downplaying this so hard. I was as excited as a kid on Christmas morning.
Wow.
Just a little bit.
Wow. Wow, look at that nose. Well, the nose is beautiful.
Yeah, I know, isn't it?
The rest of the shit we can knock out. Or the thing is a lot of people are driving them like this, you know?
Yeah.
They're driving them ratty just because they're only like that once. Well, just finding one that's all together.
Well, it says it's only got 46,000 miles on it.
What?
Look in there.
How many miles?
46,000.
Oh, yeah.
You got it?
There you go. Yeah.
No part. All original.
Looky there.
It's got an air conditioner on it still. Oh yeah, it's an air conditioned car.
Yeah!
James and I were absolutely beside ourselves about this car.
Like, when are we ever going to come across another one like this?
There are so many basic arguments like that though. Like, when are we ever gonna come across one again? Is it gonna be like this? You know what I mean? Like all that basic stuff. Like you just kind of need to throw that out the window and trust your gut. Freaking iconic muscle car right here.
Guess we're gonna own a 69 Charger. This is sick. I'm sick. I've got a sickness. It's called I gotta buy that car itis.
A few days after the purchase, we got a call it was going to be delivered to our shop.
Just having to reposition the tow truck. It's not happy.
How excited are you?
I'm really happy. I'm really excited. Be happy and excited when it's here. You know, at this, on our property.
It is technically already on the property.
Yes, but I mean, inside the bay, locked down in our bay, then I can sleep in it tonight.
You're so cute. I can't even begin to tell you how excited we are to own this car. James and I were constantly poking at each other saying, hey, guess what? We own a 69 Charger. Oh yeah, we own a 69 Charger. How awesome is it that we own a 69 Charger? We may have seemed annoying to other people, but we still just can't believe it. Rolling into early 2023, we left the Charger parked inside with the doors and windows open to dry it out and hope all the critters found new homes elsewhere. After about a month, we removed the interior and gave this baby a much needed wash. We also wanted to see what the status of the floor pans were after its long exposure to all that moisture.
So the crazy thing about how rusty this car is up top, it's amazing how not so rusty it is on the bottom of it. When you get a rusty car and it's been sitting out in the weeds here in South Carolina, usually they rust from the bottom up and they the top of the car looks way better than the floor pans. This is the exact opposite of that.
Although this car did have its fair share of rust, we were quite surprised to see how much solid metal was actually on this car.
Okay, just got our first seat out. Let's see if you can see how nasty this carpet is. It's just terrible. Let's go underneath here. So you see there is some rust. Yikes. Oh, it looks like there might even have been a patch in here. Once we get this cleaned up, we'll be able to assess a little better how bad the rust is and how deep it goes. They're still extremely solid compared to some of the other crap I have, especially my red 68. I think we can put this together and drive it just the way it is.
This car is special for many reasons. The 1969 Dodge Charger was most famously known for its awesome Dukes of Hazzard debut where they jumped, crashed, and led high-speed chases in this iconic TV show car. In 1969, Dodge produced around 18,000 Dodge Charger RTs, but this being an SE or Special Edition, it's estimated that 4,000 to 6,000 were made with this package in that year. Unfortunately, since the SE was a dealer option, back then they didn't have the most accurate catalogs for that information. This is an original 383 V8 car with a 727 automatic transmission. It is also sporting 45,000 original miles. Yes, original miles. We knew that we wanted to preserve as much of the originality of this car as we could. Now, you may be looking at this car as a rust bucket in need of a restoration, and from some standpoints, you're correct. But that's not our intention here. With preservation in mind, we are planning to use as many viable components on this car to get this thing rolling down the road.
Huh, minor. Yeah, that pleases me. I don't understand why they did this. I guess it's because the pedal was there, so they went around the pedal when they repaired it.
Probably.
All right. Now we can vacuum this out and then pressure wash it.
As we grew closer and closer to May of 2023, James and I were making our plans to Hot Rod Power Tour. And to little surprise, we were thinking the same thing when it came to what we were going to road trip this year. After all the fun and games, the crunch time clock has started for Hot Rod Power Tour. Wow, this headliner cleaned up really nicely. Huh. We might have a good driver here. Yeah, I think we're gonna need another spare.
The insane things that we put ourselves through. Can you tell me if that mouse milk worked on the throttle linkage? Oh my gosh, that was frozen solid.
We're gonna change the carburetor.
I know, but it was frozen solid. All the linkage was frozen, so
know,
we can use the linkage at least, and the cable and all the stuff, you know, it was all frozen solid.
I love that mouse milk, man. That stuff to the rescue.
All right, well, let's get this thing pulled over to the garage and start wrenching. What do you think about this idea, Alex?
It's fine, I didn't need the light.
We don't need sleep.
Sleep is overrated.
Listen, don't look at it as such a monumental task. You know, how do you eat an elephant?
Take it out of the fridge first.
With a spoon.
One bite at a time, kids. One bite at a time. First drive.
I'm going so fast already. Do I look cool? Hey, look, Ma, I made it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the first time we've had this RT Charger on the lift, where we put it up in the air, and this is really where we find out stuff that we couldn't see when we bought it in the rain. We got a lot of mud daubers, obviously. That's just every car we ever work on.
A little crunch.
What do you got there?
Some serious mud daubers. Look at this. They don't waste any time on building the most lavish of
Wow. Oh, that's a saver. That we should have, you know, we should have a glass case with all the stalactites that we've ever had.
stalactites.
What's living in there?
Ooh.
Yucky.
Oh gosh.
You know what? Big brakes. I like that. This is a good car. This is a really good,
Ew.
well-optioned car.
Ew.
Yeah, let's get back to the car. The brake lines look really
Where do
good.
they put this?
Look really good. We're just gonna get new rubber.
Where do you want me to put this?
I don't know. Find a shelf. Find a place where it doesn't get messed up. Because that one's.
Wait,
we're gonna call that the pumpkin spice.
The pumpkin.
Yeah. Oh God, it stinks. This is what's stinking. Oh,
The leaky fuel.
oh my gosh, that is just terrible.
We could drop this in like 2
Oh,
seconds.
look at that. More dirt daubers.
More dirt daubers. Really, sir?
Yeah.
Sir.
What? Oh, it's.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, probably should have used a. How'd you get yours on?
We put it in the right spot.
Better placement.
A better placement?
We just moved our arm in like
Oh, it's the
4
same.
inches.
It's the same.
No, it's not.
We're fine. Safety third.
Actually,
It's pretty solid.
I'm pretty impressed with how clean the underside of this thing is.
Really good.
It's looking good.
It's 30.
It looks road trippable. We got some work to do, but I'm confident we can make this work. We worked with worse in a lot sooner of a deadline. Let's make it happen and let's get wrenching. Yeah, look at that. It's so nasty. It's so sticky. That
Be careful. That could be. You could have black widows in there. You remember the drive shaft in California?
Yeah, I didn't experience that. It was just you. They go after men. They're fine with women. We're chill.
Jesus, take the wheel. It's on me. It's all over me. Ah. Oh, Jesus, I'm not gonna get the smell off me for years.
Ready?
Pretty good.
Oh my goodness.
Separate the.
This is so bad. It's so bad. No wonder it was full of water. Holy moly, man.
That is unbelievable. That is probably the worst tank I've ever seen in my life.
It's for sure the worst one I've ever seen. Good thing we got a replacement. You got a new ignition switch for it?
I have an ignition switch that works.
How do you know the other one doesn't?
Do what?
How do you know the other one doesn't work?
Well, I don't know that the other one doesn't work because
Oh, there's
this
no
is
key.
the other one.
Oh, what?
This is the only one.
Oh, that's right. You took it out to get it rekeyed.
Hey, why don't you put that back in?
Yeah, just plug it in, let it hang.
Okay. Yeah. I can hear it trying.
Yeah. I have a feeling the more we drive this, the lighter it's going to get. We got to get some things cleaned out. This shit right here is like something out of a, I don't know, a Indiana Jones movie or something, like a Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm waiting for the giant spider to come flying out at me. I've been kind of moving things around in here, and I stuck my head underneath this wheel well and looked down, and I don't know if you guys can see, but that is one gigantic big black spider in there, and it is scary looking. I don't know what it is. Stick your finger in there, Alex. See if it'll take a little nibble. What do you got there?
I don't mess around with spiders. Your choice, hammer or fire.
Well, you're not going to hammer shit, all right? You're going to need to burn him out of there, or her out of there. I don't know, man. I don't know. What do we do? What do we do?
That's disgusting.
That scared the living poo out of me. I literally have a brown mark in my shorts right now.
Okay.
Girl, wait. I'm telling you, man. Hold on a second. We just drained a fuel tank all over the place. All right? Why don't we just spray it with some chemicals and kill it?
I'm okay to cook the spider.
Dude, the thing is coming out of there.
Oh, I saw it move.
Yeah, it's going to move as soon as it feels the heat. Dude.
Oh. Alex.
Oh, she's pissed now. Oh my God.
She's like, oh shit.
Dude, what is that?
I don't know. It's a big spider though.
Oh, you're killing it. You poor thing. Oh, I hate doing that, but I know it's either me or you. Excuse me?
She felt it was right to give you her 69 Charger.
But what are we supposed to do with that? Get that out of here. First off, this is not her 69 Charger. It's HHWheels 69 Charger. I like how she lays claim to every cool thing we get. Way back in I want to say 85, my brother bought a 69 Charger for 500 bucks. I was 15, and I can remember him bringing it home, and it was like our project, and it was one of the first cars I ever worked on. We worked on it and worked on it and worked on it, did a lot of body work and found a lot of parts, went to the junkyards and scavenged a lot of parts. We could go to the junkyard in New Mexico, we knew, and they had like 4 Dodge Chargers sitting there. You know, we were broke as hell, so we could only spend, you know, 20, 30 bucks at a time. And I just remember those times. Really, it's what started my love for automotive. Funny thing is, I've had the 68 Charger for like 10 years and I've been working on it, but my buddy calls me and says, hey, you want this car? And he got it for a really good price, and we went and picked it up and made a deal, paid for it. The day it was delivered to the shop was the day that my brother passed away. It's just kind of funny how that's full circle. I want to call the car Frizz because that's my brother's nickname. I have a funny feeling when this thing fires up, we're going to have a lot of fun with it, and I'm going to be thinking about my brother a lot. And a lot of oil buildup down toward the crank area and toward the pan. You're going to have to pressure wash that crap off and just see where the leaks are, and hopefully that pan's not leaking. Once it gets some heat in the engine, we're going to find out. I mean, the car only has 45,000 original miles on it. You know, sometimes you just get really lucky, and I think that is just our situation here. This car is, for the most part, unmolested, and to come this complete, even having the original windshield wipers on them. The crazy awesome thing about this car is that everything that you see on it, all of these lines, all the nuts, nothing is frozen. Usually these lines are all rusty, especially if a car is sitting outside. All I did was put a little bit of a lube on there. Everything working very, very well. So now I'm popping that off just to see what kind of mess we got here, because the pedal is frozen solid. So, oh yeah. So, master cylinder frozen up. Taking this at 45, which is pretty good, awesome lubrication. And I'm lubing up the pedal. So what I'm doing is loosening this pedal up so that it'll come back and spring back. It's going to take a lot of movement with lubrication, because really I don't want to unbolt it all and grease it like I'm supposed to. I just don't want to do that.
Heyo, we got running lights. Now, all the bulbs are good. Now we just gotta figure out what else is wrong up front, which I'm assuming, I think, is the switch. I don't know if the switch is bad. I think all of the terminals and everything on the inside of that switch just haven't been used for so many years that either we keep using it and hoping it gets better, and if it doesn't get better, we can always just get a new switch. But I think that's gonna be our issue.
I'm starting to take out this dash cluster so we can start checking wires and see if we can get headlights to work, because we do have power to the starter when we turn the key. That's good, so we know the starter was bad. We're waiting on the starter to get here. Napa will have that in the morning.
You have more knowledge and education on chargers than I do. So we put our two brains together. I figure out all your wiring woes. You disassemble things or notice things that are supposed to be there correctly. I get an education and we get a running charger.
What's the coolest thing we've done today so far?
Work on a 69 Dodge Charger.
Gosh darn right. So what you got there?
I have truly, I think, the coolest thing ever, mainly because I love not having to go hunt for wire diagrams. This is a 68 Dodge Charger Cornet dart service manual, which is awesome. And the wire diagram is not that different from a 68 to 69. This has an awesome breakdown of different parts of the car, the engine bay, all the lighting. So I'm happier than a pig in mud that I have this to be able to decipher what we're working with. Since the charger is fairly untouched throughout the entirety of the car, we spent the first few days testing and troubleshooting. The great thing about almost all of the wiring was the fact that most of the issues were due to corroded terminals, all of which was a simple fix with some lubrication and a wire brush.
Definitely looks like running lights. I would not put those as brake lights, although they could be. I don't think they're bright enough. Yep, all of them.
Well, that's cool. How cool is that?
Yeah.
This is where I die. I've lived a good, long, short life. This is how it ends.
Good, long, short life. That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. I don't know how in the hell that doesn't stink. God is doing some serious work.
That's the turn signal for the right side.
So all of our bulbs are good except for the driver's side turn signal. Everything else works, which is fantastic. Now we run into the issue of, okay, is it our switch? Is there a broken wire somewhere? So we got to chase that. I still think it's the switch though.
So I get here this morning and I'm walking in, checking on the charger. I'm about to put a starter on this thing and try to get the motor to turn over and see if we actually have a power plant today for power tour. And I walk in and this is what I see. Like the old Harry Hyde said in Days of Thunder,
this is not the kind of answer I'm looking for from you.
okay, so as you can see, there's our massive leak on the power steering box, and the new starter fits perfectly. Just gotta get it wired up and we'll be turning this thing over. Give me a lever and I'll move the world.
Thing is stuck. Only on the carb too. There we go. Yeah. Not bad.
It's not terrible.
No.
It's definitely burning some fuel.
We're in the process of changing the spark plugs, and we're less than impressed with what we see.
So, yeah. I don't think I've ever pulled a spark plug out and had it look like that.
What's it smell like?
Butthole.
Now that we have those cylinders soaked down for a little bit, we are going to try to turn the motor over by hand without the spark plugs or anything in it. Hopefully break whatever nasty stuff is built up in those cylinders. And then the fun part of trying to get this thing to run will come shortly afterwards. Okay, never mind. We're gonna try it with a starter because we have no access from above or below with a ratchet, so going down.
Sweet.
Got some new Champion Copper Plus spark plugs. They had Champions in it before, and this is all they had at our parts store, so we're gonna run with Champions for now.
If you guys remember, Holley gave us this awesome carburetor to get home with the race truck, and since we are putting an LS in the race truck, and now we're going to put it on, and we're going to power tour this bad boy.
Yeah, why not, right?
It's been such a good carburetor for us.
While James was gone in Monaco, I had to pick up the slack on the charger so that we could stay on schedule. And to say the least, there was still a lot of work to be done. While Alex routes all of the airlines, thank you, I'm not really sure why I look like I just stuck my finger in an electrical socket. Just act like I don't look like this right now. I'm gonna go ahead and start taking the drums off because we have new wheel cylinders and new brake lines. I don't know if the wheel cylinders are bad, but I went ahead and ordered them and got them here anyways, just because we only have 2 weeks. Ugh. Hey, actually, these don't look that bad. For 45,000 original miles, I wasn't expecting it to be terrible. Apart from the nastiest spider carcass-filled drum.
Caroline, why do we go with air shocks?
Because of the massive tires that are going to go on these rims. These little rubber bands aren't going to be rubber bands after we're done. Oh man, we have made some really good progress on the Charger the last couple days, but I'm gonna be really honest with you. I know we glamorize overstressing ourselves and just having a massive workload, but in reality, sometimes it really takes a toll on us. We have maybe a week and a half until Power Tour, pretty much, because we have to leave and we still have to get prepped on the other car because we're also bringing our SRT 10. So I'm a little stressed, I'm not gonna lie, because we're really nowhere near driving this thing. Just because we got the engine to fire doesn't mean anything. We still need to put a whole new fuel system in this thing, still have to POR the underside. We're working on finishing the brakes right now, which I'm hoping everything's gonna work on that, no problem. The interior still has to go in, and so much more. The list honestly kind of feels never ending. I'm confident that we'll get there, but since James is out of town, Alex is about to go out of town, and I'm by myself right now, it's quite a task. Honestly, really feeling the heat. I just wanted to be honest with you guys because I really feel like Power Tour is a really awesome time for us to enjoy the crunch, but at the same time, it can be kind of stressful. Although we are gonna have a chase vehicle, I'm not having a lot of faith, and I feel really guilty to feel that way, but probably just because I really wanted more time to get this thing, you know, shake down, get it on the road, drive it around town, really feel this thing out and make sure we really work out all the kinks before we drive it as far as we're going to, but I just don't think we're gonna have that. Enough chit-chatting. I gotta get off my butt and get back to wrenching because this thing ain't gonna do itself.
Definitely the best part of a 68, 69, 70 Charger.
Slowly but surely crossing things off the list. Gas tank sending unit. Of course, I got a bid marker. Done.
Tomorrow is 7 days and counting.
Yeah, that's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah, we're gonna drive this. I don't think I've seen worse ever. It might not go past
The thermostat.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't. I'm glad I took that off.
The fluid
though.
that drained out of here is still beautiful.
Well, I don't know if beautiful is the word I'd use for that fluid, but it's definitely better than expected.
22 years old, I would say it's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that thermostat housing.
I've never seen a thermostat housing this bad in my life.
That's fine.
Moment of truth. That's pretty grody, dude. Hopefully it didn't make it past the thermostat.
Come on, baby.
Looks pretty clean to me.
I'll take it.
Actually, the bottom side of that thermostat looks great.
Yeah, that's all been sealed up, so I'm not sure why it would be all crusty on the top end. It had to have air coming in somehow.
We did a quick water pump change and then it was on to cleaning the interior. Since this car has been sitting for so long, naturally it's going to collect dust, mold, and grime. To give these seats the cleaning they really deserve, I'm starting with the 303 interior cleaner to remove all of that built up dirt. To properly condition and protect these 54-year-old seats, my go-to is, of course, the 303 Protectant. It always works some magic on old vinyl and plastics. The Protectant helps prevent fading, discoloration, and cracking with its built-in UV protection abilities. The most noticeable difference is, of course, how it brings this dull vinyl back to life. Since these seats have needed a treatment like this for a while, I want to do my first application of the protectant while the seats are out so that I could really reach every single nook and cranny. If you're interested in trying out the 303 protectant or interior cleaner, you can use the link in the description to purchase. Thank you to 303 Car Care for sponsoring this video. The time has finally come. We can put the wheels and tires back on this car. We would absolutely love to put the original Daytona 500 wheels back on, but getting 14-inch tires is a much more difficult process than you think. But a huge thanks to Continental Tire for hooking it up. We got some awesome extreme contact tires for these Colorado custom wheels. They're 18-inch wheels all the way around, staggered in size, and I think these are gonna look awesome on the Charger. These are actually Alex's wheels from his 56 New Yorker, but he's nice enough to lend them to us for this excursion. So let's go ahead and get these put on, get the brake shoes adjusted, and get one step closer to getting this thing on the road for Power Tour. I'm in here messing around with switches, trying to figure out why our headlights don't light up or anything like that. Had to change our dimmer switch, which was very bad. Then realized we had a bad switch in the dash, and James came in real clutch with all of his Charger parts. It was like it was meant to be. We now have headlights that work. So switch, brand new. This is the old one up here that doesn't work. And we have headlights.
I only have 3 Ford 68, 69 Dodge Charger taken apart around here.
Yep. Dang, that's pretty.
Let's get some heat in the engine and see if oil starts pouring out of every orifice of the motor. That's the question.
He's so pessimistic. I'm very optimistic this is gonna work out.
I love your adventure. I love it. I think we're advanced a little bit. Hang on.
At this point, we definitely knew we had some ignition-related issues. We called our good friend Rudy to lend us a hand. We discovered that the advance weights in the distributor had moved out of place, which means you will literally never get this engine timed properly unless they are fixed right. Although we had a pretty gnarly exhaust leak, at least we found out the transmission worked great.
Rudy, 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 Rudy,
used to be bigger.
Rudy, Rudy. Well, we discovered exactly why this engine's so freaking loud. We turn it on. I actually thought that it had like a rod knock, but that's not the case. The engine's running way too good. I don't think we have a rod knock. We have good oil pressure. Everything's good. The gaskets on these manifolds completely worn out. So I've had an interesting class with Rudy. He ordered the alternator for us, and apparently these cars, it was like a 1-year alternator, and they have 3 different styles of alternators from like 68 to 71. First time this thing has run this long in over 20 years. We get some heat in the motor. Sounds really good. Firing on all the cylinders. Type 4 Revolution helped me out today. Power brake. Feel pretty good. Ah, man. 45,000 original miles. Can't beat that.
Let there be life. I'm hitting it with the bag, boys. I'm hitting it with the bag. Take all that bag.
I'm sure we'll leak at least that much out
Not
during
that-
this whole
no,
trip.
No, not out this end.
I'm thinking out right there
I'm
and
thinking
down here.
out that end or that end.
Oh,
or
please
that
don't tell
end.
me. No, let's.
Not this end. This won't leak.
Okay, so we got a little oil leak from this bolt right here, which is bottomed out in the engine. So apparently this oil pump was changed or taken off at some point. The washer was not put back on this bolt, which is kind of weird. Maybe the bolt's just in the wrong place. I'm not sure, but either way, we're gonna need to get some more pressure here in order to seal this
this pump housing back up. What do you think about this car? You think it'll make it? 2,000 miles. We need to do 2,000 miles on this car.
I think you'd be lucky if it makes it out of the parking lot.
Oh, come on.
That's
I
what I
feel
think.
like you say that every time.
I do, and what do you think? Yes, I'm right every time.
In our favor, he has this much faith every time, and we've, so far, succeeded every time. 2 days until we leave on our 1,500-mile journey on Hot Rod Power Tour. Our only chance we got to see its roadworthiness was to take it to Cars and Coffee.
The 69 is alive. Woo! Pretty cool. He's rocking and rolling. What you doing there, Jeffo?
Playing seatbelt fanatic.
While the guys were working on putting the interior back in the 69, I was working on badging our 2010 Charger up to be our hot rod patrol car. I really couldn't help myself from making this thing look cool, especially since it's following us on Power Tour. You can see this full surprise video over on our Instagram.
So when I went for a drive yesterday with it for the first time in 22 years this car has ever run on its own power, I was by myself. We only had one seat in it, but I really felt my brother in the car with me. We were together in there, and I called Mark, my other brother, and I told him about the car, and the first thing he said was Gene was riding with me, you know. And my brother Gene's nickname was Frizz because he had real frizzy hair, and I think that it's only fitting that we named this car Frizz. So Caroline has made some cool name for letters here. And that way, my brother Gene, Frizz, will be riding with us on Power Tour. Should be fun. And this is some wicked weather we've run into.
The first hour in, we stumbled across this nice patch of weather. We pulled off, waited for it to pass, and then got back on the road.
200 miles?
What you doing there?
She's running a little low on oil. Hopefully we can fix this problem. But we gotta make it to Atlanta first. Hot Rod Power Tour 2023. I'm so excited. I can't wait to drive this thing. Gotta get used to these brakes first.
Drums, baby.
Dude, I'm driving a 69 Dodge Charger. And we got ready in less than a month. Is that not the craziest thing ever?
Holy shit. Easy, 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 easy. This might be a jump. Woo! Woo!
Now I feel like Duke's a hazard.
Woo! Yeah! Oh my God. Jeez. Where 16 turns into 75.
It is so sketchy.
They're way back there, like 3 cars.
Caroline just smoked them. Well, our first leg is over. We actually made it to Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
What a quagmire of hot rods
Giggity giggity.
and muscle cars.
What?
What was that?
Giggity giggity. You said quagmire, so.
Only you can prevent traffic.
We go from a lawnmower carburetor last year to this setup this year. This is absolutely insanity.
The world's smallest engine.
Absolutely fantastic.
We made it! You excited?
I'm so excited.
This is awesome. The Spirit of Power Tour. This is why we do this. It's just such a good time. And this is only day 1. We get 4 more days of this. God, I'm so excited. Goodbye, Atlanta.
That was a great stop.
That was awesome.
Good first day.
Very good first day. So I'm sitting here enjoying the scenery of Summit, snacking on some chips, and I'm watching the boys do what Summit frowns upon: work on your cars in the parking lot. Strange, exactly, is what I mean.
Got a little bit of a miss in the Charger. Well, the 69 Charger. We're actually leaning against the 2010 Charger.
I have no complaints. I think this is awesome.
Oh, we're totally successful.
The fact that I am sitting in the Summit parking lot with one of the coolest people I know eating a can of Pringles, leaning against another cool car, staring at another really cool car, watching 2 strange men work on our car for us. It's a good time.
I met some amazing people today.
The stories I've heard today make all of the sweat, equity, all that fun stuff, I have no brain cells left, worth it. I mean, talking to people, hearing their stories about their cars and their passion and how much they love it and really showing us their passion is just so cool. And then also just chilling it up with people we've met online.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I met some really good Mopar buddies.
Because that's what James does. Don't hurt yourself. Alex, you got anything to say?
Take more than 3 days to build a car. Then you're not in a parking lot building a car. That should have been done a week ago.
But are you happy to be here?
Baby. Oh, I'm having a great time. I love it here. This is great.
I finally found a home.
Yeah, we are.
I love it.
After a little pit stop at Summit Racing Atlanta, we were headed off to Columbia, South Carolina to get a head start on day 2. Which didn't go as planned.
And the pain is real. First day of power tour, and we got a flat tire.
To get a flat on this car.
The 69 Charger is up ahead because we both stopped to take a leak because we have the fast car and we can haul butt and catch back up with them. But she ran over something. All I was doing is eating my Cheetos, and all of a sudden she was turning straight right to keep the car straight. Another great thing is the 69 Charger actually has the jack and the spare tire that we bought for both cars. So now they have to turn around, come back and get us, or actually come back and give us a jack and a spare tire for the car.
Yeah, that's flat.
I knew I heard something.
So what's their plan?
Well, I love Jeff, but Jeff's like, well, do you want us to turn around? Yes, Jeff, I want you to turn around. So they're turning around. They're only like 8 miles ahead of us.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
awesome.
Tomorrow, I guess we'll just find a shop and put some Continental tires on this thing.
In the midst of this tire issue, we got the genius idea to use a wheel off the 69 to fix the 2010 Charger since our spare did not fit the brakes on the cop car. We ended up busting the valve stem on the wheel off the 69, so we had not 1, but 2 bad tires on our hands at this point. So we ended up putting the spare on the 69 and leaving James behind with the 2010 Charger. And thank God one of these roadside tire guys came by, he ended up plugging the tire, and we were back on our merry way to Columbia.
What are you doing, James?
Got the Charger wheel, 69 Charger wheel. Yeah, that's across the street. Put a new valve stem in it, so we can put the right wheel on and actually get proper steering. Because the spare on the front is not quite working. Rubbing the fender. Where are they? Why are they not here? Caroline! Alex!
Well, last night was very eventful, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was in a pretty bad mood, mainly because I was exhausted. We left Hilton Head at 4 a.m. and we didn't even get into Columbia after a long day already in Atlanta at 1 a.m., believe it or not, after the whole tire debacle. We got the valve stem fixed this morning, and now we're gonna go drop the cop car off because we're gonna get it fitted with all new Continental tires all the way around. Luckily, there's a dealer like 2 doors down from our hotel who can hook it up today, so we're gonna do that, and then we will probably all dogpile into the 69 and head to power tour day. We're a little late today, but honestly, yesterday was such an incredibly awesome day, but it was long and it was a little hotter than we anticipated. Like, it didn't feel super hot, but the heat and the sun really did kind of take it out of us, so it was nice kind of taking our time this morning. But we are here in Columbia, so it should be a quick trip to the fairgrounds, and we can't wait to see everybody. Today is going to be awesome, and then we might actually relax this time around. We're actually going to stay in Columbia tonight instead of try to head out of the way. So yeah, last night was a lot of driving. Your shirt is very fitting.
This was unplanned.
Are you sure?
Of course it is. Unplanned.
Well, it's a good thing we got plenty of rust. You ready?
Set of tires on this.
Confidentials?
Yeah. Downtown Columbia's state capitol we're coming up on right here. My old stomping ground. Back when I was a South Carolina senator.
A senator?
I was never a senator.
Senator.
A senator.
You guys ready for day 2?
Day 2.
Yes, I got some good rest last night.
I think I did too. How about you, Jeffro?
I'm good. I slept like the dead.
Gamecock country, baby. Woo! Woo! Go, Cox! Go, Cox! Go, Cox!
We're here at the Painless Wiring booth, checking out an awesome thing that they're doing. They are raising awareness for Breast Cancer Fund. They are selling long haul gang stickers for $10 a piece. 100% of those proceeds go to the fund, and at the end of the long haul, they're giving away a $500 gift card. It's such an awesome thing. We support it, of course. Hopefully you did if you're a long haul gang. Let's keep checking out some cool stuff.
So I really want to see that new Chevrolet Camaro at the Chevy booth, which is, I think so. They said it was here. That's not it.
This is so cool. The fact that this car is a gasser, true hot rod in my opinion. That's from Massachusetts here in Columbia, South Carolina for Power Tour. I'm pretty sure it's long haul in it too. That's kick-ass.
Columbia. Got my co-pilot Jeffro here, Type 4 Revolution. We're heading to get some petrol. Then I'm going to turn the old driving skills over to the one and only. It's too good. It's absolutely too good driving this thing. It's just one of the coolest things ever. So good at power, like it's not even missing anymore. You hear that? It's not doing the stutter. It's pretty good. on driving the car at speed. I think he's been sketched out about driving it.
Just a touch.
He's feeling that play in the steering wheel right now. He's like, oh shit.
Power Tour 2023.
One of the many really cool things about Power Tour is how it brings people together. I don't just mean in literal event attendance, I mean the people in their small towns who camp out in their front yard or even on the side of the road to see all the cars passing through.
Come on, baby. This is quite a slope.
Just need to crest. There we go.
Welcome to the Rock.
Now we're gonna find one over there. We thought that was a slope. Found you a slope.
Ooh, welcome to the Rock.
It looks like you got your squirter up here is not activating until you've got your throttle set to this point, which is about half throttle inside the car. There, see how there's a lot of slap right there? And so you're not getting fuel. I'll show you right there when your fuel starts. Right there. So you've already pressed the gas down that far before the squirter activates.
You're probably scratching your head wondering why I'm writing on a piece of cardboard that we pulled out of the trash. Some of our favorite people, David Freiberger and Steve Dulcich from Roadkill Garage, were also participating in Power Tour in their red Duster. From the get-go, we really wanted them to sign our 69 Charger, but never had the chance to ask. But at Rockingham, they conveniently ended up parking next to us, so we thought the best way to get their attention, among many others, was to have me stand on the Charger holding my sign as if I was panhandling for autographs.
Yes. Yes. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Caroline is here. We've made a sign, and she is standing on top of the Charger right now. And we are trying to get their attention. We've actually got their attention, so they know they're gonna. I think we're gonna actually get our Charger signed by David and Steve. It's gonna be awesome. All the fans that have been waiting in line to get an autograph by him have basically pointed out that Caroline is standing on top of our 69 Charger and is holding a sign saying, "Hey, Dave and Steve, come sign our Charger, come sign our car." And he's already told them that, "Oh yeah, I'm going over there."
What did you do?
Well, thank you. I'm Caroline. Nice to meet you.
I'm David. How are you?
Hi, Caroline.
Do you want us to sign?
Yes. I feel like I blacked out at this moment. Like, I was so excited. Of course, I remember everything, but I was just shaking with so much excitement, like in disbelief that this moment was actually happening.
All right. Ready? Very nice. Where'd you find your RTSE?
In a small town in South Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, you got lucky.
We call it our yard find because it was sitting under a tree, and as you can tell.
Lovely.
Oh, yeah, it's Swiss cheese under there for sure.
Oh, yeah, it's rusty. Huh? Go. Yeah, that's perfect.
I still really just cannot believe that this actually happened. Dude!
Come on.
It worked! My day has been made! I have no words because I'm just so freaking excited. They signed our charger. We got this thing running in 3 weeks. Hasn't run in 22 years. RTSE, green on green. David Freiberger and Stendolsen just signed it. Holy crap. I can't even breathe right now. I'm so excited.
How much do you love this car now?
Oh, even more now. The value just went up 10 grand. They did want to trade the Duster for it though.
That's not a trade. That's a
I was like, oh, that's tempting. I would own a Roadkill car, but I don't know if it's worth it.
Did you tell them, did you point at me and say that guy would kill me?
I was like, I don't know if my dad would be very happy.
95 plus years of racing.
It worked.
You got it.
Dude, how freaking cool is that?
David Freiberger and Steve Dolchins sat in this seat.
And they signed it.
This is awesome. Of course, we're super fans.
I'm so happy. Like I'm still excited about it.
That was the best idea with the sign.
I could not agree more.
This has been the day of days. Wednesday, day 3, Hot Rod Power Tour.
I did not expect this from Rockingham, North Carolina, but we got it.
On the day 4, Charlotte, here we come.
I really do feel like I'm driving the General Fleet.
Yeehaw! You got it. Just hit the gas. Yeah.
James really did say it best. We really could not have had a more epic day, and being halfway through Power Tour already was a little nostalgic, but so exciting, really invigorating. We were so ready to move on to day 4. We are finally at the Z-Max Dragway in Concord, North Carolina, or Charlotte. Letting James and Jeff do the directioning, which is interesting. Today is day 4 of Hot Rod Power Tour, and so far so good. We got one more day. Tomorrow's going to be a long leg. It's going to be a big one. We're going to head up to Bristol, enjoy the day, and then head home, or at least head most of the way home to Columbia, and hopefully make it home for Cars and Coffee on Saturday. And then we have another car show on Sunday. so should be an eventful weekend.
So it's really interesting. I just talked to a guy named David who just walked right up to me in this car show, Hot Rod Power Tour. And he's like, "Hey, are you interested in owning a 68 Fury 3 convertible?" I was like, "I don't know. Yeah, you got one?" And he's like, "Yeah, I have one 2 miles from here." I was like, "Well, what do you want for it?" He's like, "Free. You just need to come and get it." This is the kind of things that are happening to us. It's kind of interesting.
Ben, the carburetor expert that you met the day before, actually came back today to help us tune this carb so that it would run a little bit leaner. This day by far was one of the hottest and also the shortest, mainly because of the heat. I think a lot of our sleeplessness also caught up with us on this day. But we did get to spend some quality time with friends before we headed back to the hotel to get ready for our final day and longest trip to Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee. You ready to go do the most brutal part of this trip?
Absolutely. This is what I've been thinking about actually the whole trip.
Yeah.
This particular leg, because we're really going to go up through some gnarly roads. So
Should be a good time, but these guys are starting out in the 69. Could you guys be a little more excited if you drive?
I'm trying to make a vent window stay open.
they're worried.
Okay, let's
worried.
go.
I could just look at this car going down the road.
I know, me too. I love that car. I love that car so much. That's how I'm feeling.
Did you get some sleep last night?
I did. One more day. I don't know if this is going to be the longest day, but it's going to be a long day, but I'm excited because it's the last day of Power Tour. It's the last day to show this awesome car off. And it's the last day to meet some really incredible people. We've had such a great time doing that. And I don't know, I'm kind of sad it's going to end, but there's always next year. Got some light problems over there, Jeff?
A little bit. I mean, brake lights are optional. Especially when you're going up a mountain.
You know, I'm just so pleased with this Charger. Not this one, but the one we're watching right now. Just seeing it go down the road like this.
I'm just in awe, man. Like, how awesome it is, the response it's gotten, how much people love it, and I don't know. This is why we do what we do. Is this kind of stuff. Like, we have so much fun with it and everybody else does, you know? It's a community effort, which is just awesome.
It was a lot of hard work, but we got it done, and now so many people are enjoying it too. I mean, so many people are just coming up and enjoying the whole story of this car being back on the road and just it driving just the way it is.
I mean, to put it in perspective, like, if you would have told me X amount of years ago I'd be up on a mountain right now with a 1969 Dodge Charger that I helped get running in 3 weeks or less, I probably wouldn't have believed you.
temperature is amazing.
The temperature is amazing. I mean, this is the spirit of Power Tour right here. This is the stuff that makes me happy. Everybody stopped out waving with their families. Such a good time.
First big climb, man. This thing, 69 Charger, is actually hanging in there really well. Thunder Valley, baby.
We can now successfully call ourselves long haulers. Our first Power Tour is long hauling, and the boys are in the back, you know, handing out tickets, doing their due diligence.
So we're all done with Power Tour, and just trying to start the car. We're parked in front of the Continental booth here, and we got major problems. Yeah, like the starter's not. I think the starter's overheated.
You made it crawl under there and bang on it?
Possibly.
And of course, something went wrong at the literal last moment of Power Tour. But crisis was easily averted, it was just a loose ignition wire. Once we wrapped up at Bristol, we were headed back home to South Carolina. Hot Rod Power Tour this year exceeded our expectations by far. Thank you so much to Continental Tire for hosting us this year. They are such an incredible group of hardworking people that make events like this happen. We are in love with our Continental tires, and we recommend that if you're in need of a new set of tires, just go online, find your local dealer, and give them a try. You won't be disappointed. We also want to thank each and every person that came to say hi or grab stickers or even just chat about their cars. It was so awesome getting to see your cars, talk to you about what you're building, and just getting to be your friend. Thank you so much for supporting us. You guys are really what help fuel our fire for documenting our passions online. You are truly the reason why we get wrenching every single day.
The last 35 miles back to Hilton Head Island. Trying to close out our day.
What's happening behind us right now?
We got a traffic jam. I believe people are thinking that this is an actual police car, so now everybody's like scared to pass me.
Yeah, that makes things better. The red light.
wrap on Hot Rod Power Tour 2023. We had an awesome time here with Petty's Garage and Continental Tire, and everything made it here with pretty much no issues. I am so mad impressed. This Charger is awesome. Frizz really came through on this one. David Freiberger signed it. Steve Dulcich signed it. We had an incredible year this year. Thank you to all of our awesome sponsors, 303 Napa, Continental, Holley, Grease Monkey, everybody. Thank you so much for making this an awesome time and possible for us. See you guys next year. If you haven't been on Power Tour, you definitely should. Check that out at HotRodMagazine.com. And don't forget to like, comment what you want to see us do next, and of course don't forget to subscribe and get out there and get wrenching with your friends, because if you do, you could end up on Hot Rod Power Tour 2024.
Came into the shop today, air conditioner's broke. Totally sucks. It's like 95 degrees in here. It's a total sweat box, but did not deter me from making this guy right here a massive burnout machine.